Hi, I'm Nicole, and welcome back to Stresses and Successes of a Solopreneur. Today I want to talk about money again, but not the inspiring version, not the look how far I've come version, the uncomfortable version. Because the last 2 weeks I've been dealing with end-of-year tax situation, and it comes with something many business owners eventually face. My first year of running a loss. And that sentence would have terrified me a few years ago. Now, just to be clear, the loss isn't because I was irresponsible with money or not working hard. I was working as hard as ever. But as I mentioned in the previous money episode, there were a couple of unavoidable personal things and natural shifts in my business that impacted the numbers this year. So if you want the full context around that, you can go back and watch the earlier episode. But the short version is this. Sometimes life happens. Sometimes businesses evolve. And sometimes the numbers reflect that season. There have been some uncomfortable realizations, some honest conversations with my accountant, and a few moments of thinking, this is not where I hoped I would be right now. But here's the interesting part. While it's uncomfortable, I'm not panicking. And that's actually surprised me a lot, because in the past it would have sent me spiraling. It would have driven me crazy into stress mode, and thinking my business was failing, and thinking I'd messed up everything, and wondering if the whole thing was just about to collapse. But my perspective on business has been changing lately. I'm starting to understand something that no one really explains when you begin a business. There are seasons. There are years when there's lots of growth. There are years of investment. And sometimes there are years when the numbers just don't look the way you hoped they would. That doesn't automatically mean your business is failing. Sometimes it simply means you're in the messy middle. The part of the journey where you're building new things, trying different ideas and adjusting direction and figuring out what actually works. And when you're in that stage, the financial picture can look a little bit not great for a while. Now, I'm not sharing the actual numbers because that's not really the point. But I do want to normalize something that many people feel embarrassed to talk about. Financial pressure happens in a business. Taxes happen, cash flow dips happen, unexpected expenses happen. And sometimes you discover that you didn't plan everything perfectly. For example, one of the decisions I'm having to make right now, or actually I'm choosing to make it right now, is to pay my tax in structured payments instead of trying to solve the problem with something like an overdraft. For me personally, something has become very clear. Debt, quietly growing in the background, does not sit well with me at all. So instead of pretending the problem isn't there, I'm choosing the option that is structured, visible, and actually moves the situation towards being solved. It's not glamorous, it's not fun, but it's responsible. And I think that's something many solopreneurs slowly learn along the way. Running a business isn't about passion or purpose all the time. It's also about learning how to handle money, pressure, and difficult decisions without letting them destroy your confidence. And right now, I'm learning that business is not about avoiding difficult seasons. It's about learning how to move through them without losing faith in what I'm actually building. Because sometimes the hardest moments are simply part of the process, the messy middle. And interestingly, this difficult season also led to something very unexpected. Clarity about where my business is actually going. But that's a story for the next episode. So thank you for being here and for walking this journey with me. I'll see you in the next episode of Stresses and Successes of a Solopreneur.